Hello, this week we are going to take a look at UV mapping again. The exercise for this week is we want to take this small doghouse looking thing and UV map it, meaning we will prepare the mesh to receive textures, and we'll talk a little bit about that. We have covered this briefly in the past week, but I wanted to do an assignment just where we focus on this. Alright, when UV mapping, what happens is we have a mesh, and that mesh has vertices. These vertices connect with other vertices with edges, and other edges could make faces. These faces, however, are laid out in 3D space. In order to apply an image onto these faces, those faces have to kind of be unwrapped, so to speak, and cut and unfolded so that they can lay flat, because an image is 2D. So the process of UV mapping is taking these vertices, and there is something called a UV coordinate that is associated with each vertice, and those UV coordinates have to be mapped. And it's essentially the unfolding of the box, the unfolding of the model. And there's a lot of issues that come up with UV mapping. You want to minimize distortion. If a face in the scene is kind of short on the bottom and long on the top and angled, we want this shape to be represented as accurately as possible in our UV map. And the faces that attach this edge is shared by two faces. How do we sew these edges together and deform this so that it has the best unfolded option available? And there's many issues, like I said. Where do you make your cuts? How do you lay this out in a way that minimizes seams? If you do have seams when you're painting, how can you minimize the how those are how visible they are? And it gets to be a point where the art of UV mapping is placing your seams in places that won't be recognized, or when you're painting, make sure you paint the edge of one where it would seem exactly the same as where it picks up in another area, so that you don't get these harsh seam lines. Alright, so to start here, you notice I select the object, and this is the UV map, and it does not in any way reflect accurately what's going on. Like, this has a kind of diamond shape, and all these are rectangles. So this is not very good. And we can see the UVs if we click this grid. And you notice, see how they're waving, and these should be very like a checkerboard, square. All the white and black areas should be square, just like this, and they're not. We've got some distortion here. It's just pure gray. So we've got a lot of work to do here. So in this set of videos, we're going to tackle this house, and maybe we'll learn a few things about UV mapping.